You know, politics for me is not about, you know, the process. It's not about who's up or who's down. It's about what are we going to do to actually make our country the best it can be. I get up every day and think about that, and sometimes it just strikes me that, you know, we can do this. We absolutely can do this.
Welcome back to Hardball. The last 5 days in New Hampshire have been intense and dramatic. Hardball's David Schuster is live tonight in Manchester. He joins us now with a run-through of the highlights.
Well, Chris, when you talk about highlights in New Hampshire, you have to start on the Democratic side with Barack Obama and the massive crowds that he's been getting at his events these last couple of days. All of his events have been totally jammed, overwhelming even his staff, and whether it's because voters were intrigued or just felt like they were watching history in the making, it has been a remarkable sight. And Obama feeds off the crowds, and his rhetoric has been soaring.
We will not just win an election, but you and I together, we will transform the world. Thank you, Dartmouth. Let's go vote.
Now, in terms of possibly beating Hillary Clinton, if that happens, Barack Obama may have to thank, in part, John Edwards. The big debate out here in New Hampshire was Saturday night, and Edwards was the one who was the strongest argument for change. He kept arguing very forcefully for change. He labeled Hillary Clinton part of the status quo, and Edwards was the one who defended Barack Obama against the Clinton jabs.
Now, what I would say is this. Anytime you speak out powerfully for change, the forces of status quo attack. That's exactly what happens. He believes deeply in change, and I believe deeply in change. And any time you're fighting for that, I mean, I didn't hear these kind of attacks from Senator Clinton when she was ahead. Now that she's not, we hear them. And any time you speak out for change, this is what happens.
On the Republican side, the highlights, Chris, have been the attacks, the aggressive attacks and counterattacks involving Mitt Romney and John McCain. Mitt Romney has been blanketing the airwaves with an attack ad criticizing John McCain's immigration plan and his votes against the Bush tax cuts.
The truth? McCain is not as conservative as Romney. He voted against the Bush tax cuts.
But McCain has been hitting back on the campaign trail with jabs at Romney like this.
One of my opponents not long ago said you don't need foreign policy experience. My friends, look at the world. Look at the world and see if you need that kind of experience to make the kind of judgments that are necessary.
And back to that debate Saturday night on the Republican side, it was Mike Huckabee who was needling Mitt Romney for not supporting the Iraq troop surge early on. And when Romney complained, Huckabee delivered one of the most memorable one-liners that we've had in New Hampshire here the last 5 days. Watch this.
I also supported the surge from the very beginning. But look, you know, Governor, don't try and characterize my position. Of course, this war has not
Which
been
one?
Which one? And it was a reminder, Chris, that Romney has had multiple positions, a point that his Republican rivals have been making repeatedly. Chris?
Thank you, David Schuster.